One of the biggest problem people face when they buy a new pocket notebook is not consistency, it's emptiness. They buy one, carry it for a few days, write a quote or a grocery list, and suddenly the notebook starts feeling too important to ruin. And slowly it becomes an object instead of a tool. But the truth is, a pocket notebook is meaningful only after it is messy. That's when it starts becoming part of your life. I am Tarun, and this is the pocket notebook I am currently using. In this video, I'm going to share 4 to 5 things that you can fill your pocket notebook with. Not aesthetic ideas, no productivity hack, just simple real systems that made me use my pocket notebook every single day. The first thing and the most important one for me is using my pocket notebook as a daily catch-all. By catch-all, I mean everything goes in. To-do list, random observation, ideas, a line from a movie, reminder while walking, and even stupid thoughts. Because I think the biggest advantage of a pocket notebook is speed. You don't organize first and write later. You write first and organize later. For a very long time, I used only one notebook for everything. And honestly, it worked for a while, but eventually I realized something very important. A pocket notebook is amazing for collecting information, but may not be the best way to archive them. So now my system is clear. The pocket notebook catches everything during the day, and later things get transferred into separate notebooks depending on the topics. And I think this simple practice removes a lot of pressure, because suddenly your notebook doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be present whenever you need it. The second thing that really changed how I looked at money is keeping a simple monthly finance notebook. At this point, I use few sticky notes to track my finance. Not an app, not a sheet, just a notebook and few sticky notes. See, writing your expenses manually slows your mind down enough to notice patterns. And I divide mine into 3 very simple categories: needs, desires, and investments. That's it. Needs are for survival, desires are for comfort, and investment are for future you. Sometimes seeing your spending physically separated like this becomes weirdly emotional. You realize how much money disappears into things that you don't even remember buying. A finance notebook is not about budgeting, it's more about awareness. And once you become aware, you take precise decisions when it comes to money. And honestly, for this purpose, I think a pocket notebook is perfect for me, as it removes the friction and complexity which comes with money. No graphs, no optimization, just honesty. The third idea, especially if you're creative, is using your pocket notebook as a daily sketchbook. Not for masterpieces, not for work, just one small sketch a day. I think a lot of people avoid drawing as they think every sketch needs to be good. But the thing is, creativity survives through repetition, not perfection. Sometimes I draw objects around me, sometimes short ideas, sometimes just shapes. And honestly, most pages are average. But that's the whole point. The goal is not to become who creates perfections. The goal is to become someone who creates regularly. A giant A3 sketchbook feels intimidating, but a tiny page feels approachable. And over time, these tiny sketches becomes evidence of life, like this. These also become visual memory of that day. The fourth one is extremely personal and one of my favorite systems. I keep a recommendation notebook. Whenever someone recommends me a book, show, documentary, or a film, it goes directly into the notebook. Once a pocket notebook gets completed, I transfer all those recommendations into a larger archive notebook. So now, when I feel bored or confused on what to watch or what to read next, I already have a curated list slowly built over years. Honestly, I think this is far better than endlessly scrolling Netflix and making a decision on what to consume. These recommendations usually came from conversations, from moments, from people. There was no algorithm pushing content towards me. Sometimes I even write who recommended it, and months later, reading those names beside movies or books really take me back in time. It becomes less of a movie list and more of a timeline of influence. Fifth one is not a single recommendation, it's everything beyond these. And there are so many beautiful ways to fill a pocket notebook. You can keep a quote notebook where only the quotes that genuinely affected you are allowed. I tried using one and didn't continue that after a few weeks, and I think that's completely okay. I transferred that notebook into another notebook which was completely different from a quote one. So now starting few pages are the quotes, and then it's my personal stuff that I'm transferring to that notebook. Or a things to explore notebook for cafes, places, artists, music, or ideas. There are so many reasons to love a pocket notebook. Choose one and get started. Over time, they quietly become mirrors. You start noticing things you repeatedly write, things you care about, and things that you keep returning to. After a while, these small tiny notebooks stop feeling like stationaries or paper. They start to feel like evidences of life. At the end, there's no perfect or correct way of using a pocket notebook. The only best system for you is the one that makes you return to it again and again, honestly and consistently. So, if you've been carrying a pocket notebook for weeks or months, I think this is your time to start using that. And the last thing I would say is just start. Don't think about the white page. Don't go into the thing that this is good or this is bad. Just keep going, keep going, keep going, and one day you'll finish it, and that feeling is a different kind of dopamine. And if you have your own kind of system which you use in your pocket notebook, please share that in the comments. I would genuinely love to hear that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.